Good morning, everyone. I am Usman K, Assistant Professor, BITM Ballari. First, I welcome you all to my 11th video lecture on Model 2. So, in the previous video lecture, we discussed about two-dimensional weaving. So, whenever we want to create any two-dimensional image in computer graphics, we need to perform two basic things. First, we need to perform modeling of a given image or given object. So once you perform modeling, then we need to perform two-dimensional weaving. So to perform modeling, so as we discussed in the previous class, what are the steps we need and what are the basic concepts we need to perform modeling. So in OpenGL, when we want to construct image, either it can be 2D or it can be 3D, first we need to provide mathematical description of that particular object. This process is called modeling. So once you perform modeling, it means that that object has been created. So once the object has been created, next is we need to display that created object on the screen of the monitor. So displaying image on the screen of the monitor is process. This process is called two-dimensional viewing. So to translate the image or the created image, if you want to translate that to the screen, we need to perform a series of transformations. So as we discussed in the previous class, so we have various types of transformations we need to perform. Then we will get various types of coordinates. So as you can see this slide. So in this slide, so I written coordinate representation. So first type of coordinates is modeling coordinates. So as I said in the previous class, when image contains multiple objects, then we need modeling coordinates. When image contains only one object, then we need only one Cartesian reference frame. Using only one Cartesian reference frame is called world coordinate. So as you can see this slide, so the meaning of modeling coordinates is we can construct the shape of individual object in a scene. In a scene means in a image within separate coordinate reference frame. This process is called modeling coordinates. Means when a given image contains multiple objects, each object is represented or it is created or it is specified. Coordinate position is specified using separate Cartesian reference frame. This process is called modeling coordinates. Next is we need to convert modeling coordinates to world coordinate. So after representing each object of the image in a separate Cartesian reference frame, then we need to represent those in a world coordinates. So as I written in the slide, once individual object shapes have been specified in a separate Cartesian reference frame, we can place those objects into appropriate positions within the scene using reference frame called world coordinate. Means in case of world coordinates, we are using only one Cartesian reference frame. That one Cartesian reference frame is contains all the object position within a given scene in appropriate places. So this is nothing but world coordinates. Next, we discussed two-dimensional pipeline weaving. As you can see this diagram, I said we converted modeling coordinate to world coordinate. Next, we need to convert world coordinate to, please you see the slide. Next, we need to convert world coordinate to weaving coordinates and projection coordinates. So as I said in the previous video lecture, projections coordinates comes into a picture only when we are displaying three-dimensional images. But here we are discussing only two-dimensional images or two-dimensional viewing. So we want to skip projection coordinates. Now I can say that here we need to map world coordinate to viewing coordinate. So once you map world coordinate to viewing coordinate, then we need to specify here one window. That window is called clipping window. Means whenever you are translating world coordinate to viewing coordinate, you need to specify which part of the object you would like to see on the screen of the monitor. So here you need to specify clipping window. So defining clipping window is nothing but viewing coordinates. Next is you need to map, you need to perform transformations, that is viewing coordinate to normalization coordinate. So you see that I represented everything in a different Cartesian reference frames. So these all are called different coordinates. Now we converted world to viewing coordinate. Next we need to convert viewing coordinate to normalization coordinate. So when you map your viewing coordinate to normalization coordinates, then that object will become device independent. When object becomes device independent, or I can say that when you perform normalization, that image becomes independent of the output device. Means whatever the image you have created now and whatever the image you map to the normalization coordinate, that image can be displayed irrespective of display devices, because it becomes independent to the device output devices. But when you are performing normalization coordinates, the range of the normalization coordinates is within the range of either 0 to 1 or -1 to +1. Now we converted viewing coordinate to normalization coordinate. Next, we need to convert normalization coordinate to device coordinates. So when you map normalization coordinate to device coordinate, then that created image is displayed on the screen of the monitor. So we we know that already the device coordinates ranges from 0 to 0 to x max to y max. Please you see this, assume that this is our monitor, this is our video monitor. So in the video monitor, 0 comma 0 represent origin of the Cartesian reference frame. So we represented our image on the screen of the monitor within the range of 0 to x max with respect to x axis and with respect to screen, and we can represent that object 0 to y max. So when you map normalization coordinates to screen coordinate, then we can view the object on the screen of the monitor. To perform this normalization coordinate to screen coordinate, we need one more window. That window is called viewport. Viewport. Viewport is also one of the rectangular window, but viewport is defines where you want to see the image on the screen of the monitor. So these are the two types of window I discussed. But when we are using normalization coordinate, again we have one more window here. Means viewing window supports clipping window. Normalization window is also supports one window, but the size of the window is between 0 to 1 or -1 to +1. That is the normalization window. Next we have viewport window also. So these are the topics we discussed in the previous video lecture, and we also discussed viewing pipeline also. So when we want to, please you see this slide, when we want to map or when we want to display the image on the screen of the monitor, then we need to map world coordinate, or I can say that modeling coordinate, or I can say that viewing coordinates to our viewport coordinate. Then only whichever the object you decided to display the that particular object on the screen of the monitor, you can display only when you perform these are the series of transformations. So we will see in the next slide how we need to map the modeling coordinate to screen coordinates, or how we need to map world coordinates to screen coordinates. So we have a journey, we have a one beautiful journey from world coordinate to screen coordinates. So we will see one by one in the next slide, so whenever we are using here two-dimensional viewing, or whenever we want to create a any object in a computer graphics, just please you see the points. I combined all the concepts, whatever the concepts I explained in the previous video lecture. I combined all these things. So please you see this first point. Whenever we want to construct a image in a computer graphics, I am discussing that concept. Construct the scene in world coordinate using the output primitives. Means we need to construct the image in a world coordinate when image contains only one object, and we need to use output primitives. So already we know that what are the geometrical primitives we are using in computer graphics. So once the scene is specified using Cartesian reference frame, either multiple Cartesian reference frame or only one Cartesian reference frame. Next step is obtain a particular orientation for the window. Means we need to specify what is the orientation of the window by set up a two-dimensional viewing coordinates. By two-dimensional viewing coordinates, that is nothing but define standard position of the clipping window in the world coordinate. So whatever the standard position of the clipping window you are defining, that is also we are defining with respect to world coordinate, and define window in the viewing coordinates system. Transform description in the world coordinates to viewing coordinate. Means whatever the object you created in the world coordinate, you need to translate those objects from the world coordinate to viewing coordinate by defining clipping window. So as you can see that this is our world coordinate, blue color, and we have a viewing coordinate that is also one different Cartesian reference frame. But here one object is given. In this object we defined one two-dimensional rectangular clipping window. That clipping window defines what you want to see with respect to that particular object. So with respect to that particular object, I want to see only part of the object. So I decided this. Next, I need to display whichever the part of the object that lies inside the clipping window on the screen with the help of viewport. As you can see that right side, whichever the part of the object that lies inside the clipping window, only that part of the object has been displayed on the screen of the monitor. So as I can say that whatever we defined in the left side diagram, it is world coordinate. If I want to view this object on the screen, I need to convert world coordinate to screen coordinates. So as you can see this diagram, go to third point. Define a viewport. Means in the second point we defined standard position of the clipping window. Next we need to map our world coordinate to viewing coordinate. Third step is define a viewport in a normalized coordinates and map the Viewing coordinate description of the scene to normalization coordinate means here we are mapping, in the step 3 we are mapping viewing coordinate to normalization coordinates and normalization coordinates to screen coordinates. So as you can see this diagram, you will get clarity. Fourth step is all the parts lie outside of the viewport are clipped out, and the content of the viewport are transferred to device coordinate. It means that when with respect to step 2 we mapped viewing coordinate to world coordinate to viewing coordinate. In the step 3 we want to map viewing coordinate to normalization coordinate. Please you see this diagram. I written 3 diagrams here. Please you see that red color Cartesian reference represent we have a viewing coordinates. we have we have a viewing coordinate and we define clipping window in the viewing coordinates. Sorry. Next, we need to map viewing coordinate to normalization coordinate. Again, we have a one window. We have a one window. The range of the window is 0 to 1 with respect to x-axis and 0 to 1 with respect to y-axis. This is performing normalization. Please you see that before performing normalization, whatever the object that lies inside the clipping window, the shape is different. When you map the clipping window or viewing coordinates to normalization coordinate with respect to normalization window, the shape of the object will change. The shape of the object will change. Either size is increased or decreased, but whatever the part of the object that is exist in the clipping window, that has to be present or that has to be exist within the normalization coordinates. Now what we did with respect to step 3, we mapped viewing coordinates to normalization coordinates. In the step 4, we need to map viewing normalization coordinates to device coordinates with the help of viewport. So these are the sequence of transformations we need to perform when we want to view any object on the screen of the monitor. So we have a derivations. We have a derivation and we have a problems when we want to map world coordinates to viewing coordinates. So we will see one by one. So as you can see that I written either one it is or you can assume it is a Roman number 1 it is, right? So first what we want to do, please try to understand what is our objective of this particular problem. So our objective of this problem is whatever the object we created, we want to display that object on the screen of the monitor. Then we need to map the mathematical description of the object with respect to modeling coordinate or with respect to world coordinate to screen coordinates. To perform this operation or to solve this particular problem, we need to do some derivations or we need to perform some transformations. So first type of transformation is mapping. We want to map world coordinates to viewing coordinates. Means here we are assuming we are displaying one image that contains only one object. So if we are considering only one object in a given image, directly we will start from the world coordinates. If a scene or image contains multiple objects, then I should tell here map modeling coordinate to world coordinate. But I am not saying here mapping mapping modeling coordinate to world coordinate. So as per the syllabus, we will start mapping world coordinate to viewing coordinate. It means we are assuming our image contains only one object. So to convert world coordinate to viewing coordinates, we need to define a rectangular clipping window with any selected size and shape and orientation. The meaning is, assume that object is already created. Now we want to map those object coordinates in the world coordinate to viewing coordinate. Then you need to specify what are the properties of the viewing coordinate with respect to clipping window. So there are three properties are there with respect to clipping window. You can specify any standard size of the clipping window, and with respect to any shape means when we are using two-dimensional, the shape of the clipping window is nothing but like a rectangle or like a square. When you are discussing three-dimensional viewing, the shape of the clipping window will become clipping volume, means the shape is like a cube, as I said in the previous slides or in the previous video lecture, and you can define its your own orientation. So these are the three parameters you need to specify with respect to viewing coordinates. So we'll see in this next slide what is the size of the clipping window, shape of the clipping window, and what is the direction or orientation of the clipping window. So to translate or to map world coordinate to viewing coordinate, we are selecting a origin for two-dimensional viewing coordinate frame at the world coordinate position. Means already world coordinates are defined. So please you see that mouse pointer here with respect to blue color. Here I written, assume that we have a one Cartesian reference frame in the world coordinate. Its origin is 0 comma 0. I am discussing with respect to world coordinate 0 comma 0, and x view represent x world represent x axis world coordinates, y world represent y axis world coordinate. Means one object is already created in a world coordinate whose Cartesian references are x world and y world. When you want to map this world coordinate to viewing coordinate, you need to take origin of the viewing coordinates. So please you see that I drawn one more Cartesian reference frame with different orientation, so that you will get the clarity which is world coordinate and which is viewing coordinate. Now I have defined one clipping window. Please you see that. Please you see the mouse pointer. I have defined one rectangle. This is the shape of the clipping window, and assume that we have defined some standard position. Now this rectangular or clipping window we defined with respect to origin is p naught. Origin is p naught with respect to viewing coordinates. What is that origin means? I have taken origin of the clipping window with respect to world coordinate. So what is the world coordinate coordinates means? Here I have taken x naught, y naught. So I have taken one point p naught in the world coordinate. That p naught will become origin of the viewing coordinate. So with respect to this origin of the viewing coordinate, I defined clipping window. So if you see this diagram, we have a world coordinates also, we have a viewing coordinate also, and we defined one origin, one point called P naught. No doubt that it is a viewing coordinate, but that point has taken with respect to world coordinates, and that P naught acts like a origin of the viewing coordinate frame. So once you decided what is the origin of the clipping window, we have sequence of steps. To map world coordinate to viewing coordinates. So let us see the next slide. When you want to convert world coordinate to viewing coordinate, we need to perform following steps. First, what we need to do means we need to translate viewing coordinates origin to first we need to translate viewing coordinate origin to world coordinate origin. So you see this diagram, I translated origin of the viewing coordinate to world coordinate, means that p naught is translated from the arbitrary position to origin of the world coordinate. Then p naught is coincides with the origin of the world coordinate, means the origin of the world coordinate it is same as the origin of the viewing coordinate. So once you translate that viewing coordinate reference frame or that entire window that that point is translated to origin of the world coordinate, that it looks as you can see that how it looks. I am using blue color. This is before translating that p naught point from the arbitrary position to origin of the world coordinate. So as soon as I will translate that, I perform translation, and that p naught is coincides with the world coordinate. The diagram it looks like this. I am using red color pen. I am using red color pen here. This indicate that we performed translation. Next we'll see what is the next step. So after performing translation, step 2 says that rotate the viewing coordinates system to align it with the world coordinate. So as you can see that this is our world coordinate and this is our viewing coordinate. Now we need to align viewing coordinate to world coordinate so that x-axis of the viewing coordinate has to become exactly parallel to the x-axis of the world coordinate, and also y coordinate of the viewing coordinates has to become exactly parallel to the world coordinate with respect to y axis. So we need to perform rotation here. We need to perform rotation at an angle theta. So when you perform rotation at an angle theta, then I can say that both the coordinate axis is coincide with each other. Means, please you see the next diagram. I drawn only one Cartesian reference frame, but this is the combination of world coordinate and viewing coordinate after mapping. So once you map world coordinate to viewing coordinate, or after performing rotation, this horizontal line indicates no doubt that it is a Cartesian reference frame, but the Cartesian reference frame of the viewing coordinate it is same as Cartesian reference of the world coordinates. So this is the translation or transformation of world coordinate to viewing coordinate. So as you can see that to map world coordinate to viewing coordinate, we performed two sequence of transformations. First one I performed translation, second one I performed rotation. So I can say that the multiplication of rotation and transformation creates the composite matrix. Composite matrix with respect to translating or mapping world coordinate to viewing coordinate. Please you remember this is the matrix we need whenever we want to map world coordinate to viewing coordinate. Means we need two operations to map world coordinate to viewing coordinate. One is called translation and one more is called rotation. So these are the two steps we are using. Next, after mapping world coordinates to viewing coordinate, next we need to map viewing coordinates to normalization coordinate and normalization coordinate to viewport coordinates. But as I said in the previous slide, when we want to map viewing coordinate to normalization coordinate, projection coordinates are missing here because it is 2D. We don't want projection coordinate. So directly you map clipping window to normalization coordinate followed by screen coordinates. Now as you can see that next topic is mapping two-dimensional world coordinate or viewing coordinate to, we want to map two-dimensional clipping window coordinates to normalized viewport coordinates. That is mapping two-dimensional world or window coordinates to viewport coordinate. Now why I am telling it is two-dimensional world coordinate means after mapping two-dimensional world coordinate to viewing coordinate, two-dimensional world coordinate as same as two-dimensional viewing coordinate. So only I am telling here mapping two-dimensional world coordinate here, right? So here please you remember we want to map clipping window to screen coordinate. In between again we have normalization mapping is also there. We will see next in the next slide. So the purpose here I written here, when object lies inside the clipping window, then it has to be mapped or transferred to viewport to display that particular object on the screen of the monitor. So indirectly I can say here we are mapping clipping window coordinates to screen coordinates. Screen coordinates. So as you can see this, assume that this is our clipping window. I specified standard size of the clipping window. Left side, please you see the left side diagram. This is the clipping window. Now I have a one object called triangle. So in this object you need to define or you need to decide whether you want to view entire object or part of the object. So that is called what is to be displayed. What is to be displayed in a given object. Given object is nothing but triangle. Now I decided I want to display only part of the triangle. Then I defined one rectangle here. That rectangle is called clipping window, two-dimensional clipping window. Now, when you map clipping window to viewport, whatever the part of the object you decided to view on the screen of the monitor, that part of the object is clipped out. That part of the object is clipped out. As you can see that viewport. So the viewport contains only the content of the object that is exist inside the clipping window. Inside the clipping window, only two lines are there. Two lines are there. Two vertical lines are there. So viewport defines where is to be displayed. So as I written clearly, clipping window defines what is to be displayed or what part of the object you would like to display on the screen. Viewport defines where is to be displayed. So here in this type of transformation, I need clipping window, I need viewport, because here I written clearly we want to map clipping window or we want to map viewing coordinates to directly to the screen coordinates. Then we need two types of window. One is called clipping window, one more is called viewport. So when you map clipping window to the viewport, whatever the part of the object that lies inside the clipping window, no doubt that the same content has to be present in the viewport. Has to be present in the viewport, and the content of the viewport is translated to the screen to for displaying purpose. But I written one note clearly here. There is a one derivation here with respect to this note only. When you are mapping viewing coordinates to screen coordinates, or when you are mapping viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, when we map relative position of the both the windows should be same. What I am telling means when you map clipping window coordinates or window coordinates to viewport, either size of the object can be increased or decreased, but the relative position of the both the windows should be same. What is the meaning of relative position means? Please you see this diagram. See this diagram, second diagram, see the mouse pointer. I drawn one circle and one triangle. The size of the triangle and circle, assume that we have a few standard size we specified in a clipping window. When I project this triangle and circle on the screen with the help of viewport, here size is increased. Means when we are mapping, when we are translating content of the clipping window to the screen coordinate, the size of the object may differs. I written clearly here. Size of the object may differs. Differs means either it can be increased or it can be decreased. But the relative position of the object in both the windows should be same. That is, if the triangle is started from the origin of the clipping window, that triangle has to be displayed at the origin of the viewport only. This is called relative position of the objects in both the windows are same. We assume that triangle is displayed in the left bottom corner of the clipping window. If I want to map this triangle from the clipping window to viewport, it should not be displayed in a upper right corner of the viewport. That is the meaning of relative position. What I am telling means, assume that I displayed circle at the in a clipping window bottom left corner. That triangle has to be displayed in a viewport at the bottom left corner only. We should not display this triangle somewhere in the viewport. So that is called relative position of both the windows should be same. So as you can see that the content of the clipping window, where the triangle is there in the clipping window, it is drawn in the same place in the viewport, and whatever the circle is there in the clipping window, the same circle is drawn in the same place in the viewport. But the size will definitely it will vary. Either the size can be increased or it can be decreased. This is with respect to size of the viewport. We don't know the size of the viewport here. If the size of the viewport is larger, then we will get larger image on the screen. If the size of the viewport is very smaller than the clipping window, then we'll get very small image on the screen of the monitor. Means the size of the objects on the screen of the monitor, it is independent from the clipping window. It does not depends on the size of the clipping window. It depends size of the viewport. If size of the viewport is larger, then we will get larger image on the screen of the monitor. If the size of the viewport is very smaller than the clipping window, then we'll get very smaller image than the clipping window images. So these all are called the properties of the viewport. But please you remember, the relative positions in both the windows with respect to object should be same. So we, we need to prove this. We need to prove this relative positions of both the windows should be same with respect to objects. For this statement, we have one derivation. So we'll see the derivation. We'll see the derivation how we can say that the relative positions of the object in both the windows should be same. So here I written derivation, that is world coordinate to viewing coordinate like this. Assume that I have defined two types of Cartesian reference frame. I defined world coordinate, window coordinate. I defined window coordinate, and next I defined viewport coordinates. So window coordinates are, I defined window coordinates with respect to x-axis. XW min represent x-axis minimum value with respect to clipping window coordinates. W represent window, that is clipping window. XW max represent XW max represent maximum value of the x-axis with respect to clipping window. With respect to clipping window, that is called XW max. Similarly, YW min means clipping window y-axis minimum value. YW max means clipping window y-axis maximum value. So as you can see that I defined one clipping window. Its lower bottom corner coordinates are XW min, YW min, and upper right corner coordinate values are XW max and YW max. So please you see here, window coordinates are boundary values are specified. XW min means x-axis clipping window minimum x-axis value, and here maximum x-axis value with respect to clipping window. So these are the window coordinate, and I specified viewport coordinate here. So how to specify viewport coordinate? Please you see that I have a one Cartesian reference frame. I have one Cartesian reference frame. Please you see the second diagram, second graph. I defined standard size of the viewport. What is the standard size means? XV minimum. XV minimum is viewport x-axis minimum value. XV max means V represent viewport. Viewport x-axis maximum value. Similarly, YV min means y-axis viewport y-axis minimum value. YV max means viewport y-axis maximum value. So by using this Cartesian reference frame, I defined standard size of the viewport. What is the standard size of the viewport we defined means? Please you see this slide here down. XV minimum, YV minimum is nothing but bottom left corner of the viewport. XV maximum, YV maximum is upper right corner of the viewport. So two sizes we defined. So as by seeing the diagram only I can say that size of the clipping window is smaller than the size of the viewport. So this is the difference you need to first to understand here. Now I defined size of the clipping window, I defined size of the viewport. Now in this derivation, what we need to learn means whatever the pixels are there in a clipping window, where those pixels has to be displayed in a viewport with respect to the screen, that we need to determine. I will repeat once again. With respect to this derivation, we need to determine the position of the point in the clipping window is P here. P here. We need to determine where this P has to be displayed in the viewport. That relative position we need to determine. So with respect to derivation, I written one sentence here. Let us consider a point. That point is called PXW YW at the center of the clipping window. So we have selected one point. Its position is XW, YW, and we selected this point at the center of the clipping window. And what is our aim here means, our aim is here we need to find corresponding point position at the center of the viewport. That corresponding point position is center of the point viewport point position is XV, YV. XV, YV means when you translate the point from clipping window to viewport, we need to determine where this point P has to be displayed on the viewport. So as I said that this point P is present at the center of the clipping window. That same point has to be displayed on the viewport at the center only, but with respect to relative position means from the origin of the viewport we need to display that point on the screen of the monitor. So I will repeat once again. In this slide, P is a one point we selected in the clipping window and its position is xw comma yw. For the same point P, we need to determine what is the corresponding pixel position in the viewport with respect to viewport coordinates. Then we will get its new coordinate position in the viewport that can be represented by using xv comma yv. So this is nothing but derivation we need to perform. Now to perform this derivation, I written a sentence: relative position of the object is same in both the windows. This is the assumption we need to do, right? So based on this assumption, we return corresponding values. So we know that what is xw min, xw max and xw min, like this. Now to determine what is the corresponding point position on the viewport, we need to take this formula, that is xw. This is nothing but our point x-axis value. We need to subtract xw minimum in a xw divided by xw max minus xw mins. So this is the formula we are using to find relative position of the point in a clipping window on the screen of the monitor. Next, this is with respect to viewport. This is with respect to clipping window. This is with respect to viewport I written. So here xv minus xv minimum. Xv is nothing but we need to determine what is the point position on the viewport. That is nothing but we are assuming xv it is. Xv minus xv minimum divided by xv max minus xv min. So I will repeat whatever I written first formula. This is with respect to x axis. Left side, whatever I written, left side of this equal to operator, whatever the formula I written, this is with respect to clipping window. And whatever the formula I written right side of the equal to operator or assignment operator, as per the mathematics it is equal to operator. Okay, so whatever the formula written right side of the equal to operator, this is called coordinates with respect to viewport and its x-axis. Now we need to cross multiply this. This is with respect to x-axis. Similarly, we need to write the same formula with respect to y-axis. When you write x-axis value and y-axis value, you need to take the cross multiplication. After performing cross multiplication or after solving these expressions, viewport positions are at the point xv, yv. We will get, this is the equation. Equation is with respect to xv, we will get s subscript x into xw plus tx, y subscript v equal to sy into yw plus ty. So as you can see this here, what is s of x and s of y, t of x and t of y means we already learned this. Just I am explaining here. S of x equal to the difference between xv max and xv min with respect to xw max minus xw min. Means we are assuming here what is the s of x. Similarly, we are assuming s of y value. S of y, we know that s of x and s of y are the scaling factors. Why we need the scaling factors in this topic means when we map window coordinates to viewport coordinate, the size of the object may varies. Means either it can be increases or it can be decreases because of the size of the viewport. If the size of the viewport is smaller than the size of the window, definitely that object size has to be reduced. When size of the viewport is larger than the size of the clipping window, then the size of the object has to be increased. So to perform this increasing size of the object, decreasing size of the object, when we are displaying that object in a viewport, we need scaling transformations. So to perform scaling transformation, we need scaling factor like s of x and s of y. We already studied this in two-dimensional geometric transformation operation called scaling, and we are assuming whatever the formula we written here, after cross multiplying we will get s of x is nothing but this one, s of y is nothing but this one, and we are assuming that whatever the equations we got after multiplying, we are assuming that x axis value with respect to s of x, and y axis value we are assuming s of y. Similarly, we have tx and ty. We know that tx and ty is called translation distances. Why we need this translation distances means when size of the object varies, means when viewport size is different with respect to clipping window, then with respect to viewport we need to display the image. When we are increasing size of the object or decreasing size of the object, after decreasing or increasing, we need to translate those points. We need to translate those points in a such a way that those pixel position with respect to object has to be exist within the viewport. Means what I am telling means, whenever you are changing or whenever you are performing scaling to that particular object, we need to translate that object from one position to another position within the viewport, because we need to map those clipping window coordinates to viewport coordinates. Then we need translation also. Indirectly, what I would like to say here means, here we are performing scaling as well as translation. So what are the corresponding formula for scaling and translation? I written clearly here. So these all are the scaling and translation we need whenever we are mapping world coordinate to, sorry, viewing coordinate to viewport coordinates. So here I written, here we are converting rectangle of clipping window into viewport rectangle. To perform this, steps to perform the transformation from viewing coordinate to viewport coordinates. So we have a series of transformations here. In previous method also we learned, when we are mapping world coordinate to viewing coordinate, we have translation and rotation. These are the transformations. When you want to map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinates, then also we have series of transformations. So as you can see that when we want to map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, we need to scale the clipping window to map with respect to viewport size. So as I written, scale the clipping window to the size of the viewport using fixed point position of xw min and yw min. Means xw min and yw min is nothing but this is the origin of the clipping window. This is the origin of the clipping window. Means whenever you want to perform scaling, scaling is nothing but we need to scale the clipping window in a such a way that size of the clipping window has to become equal to the size of the viewport. To perform this scaling, we need here one fixed point. So we are assuming fixed point for this particular problem is xw min yw min. This is the origin of the clipping window we selected as the fixed point to perform scaling. So in the previous video lecture we learned what is the scaling matrix when we want to perform fixed point scaling. So in the previous video lecture we learned what is the fixed point scaling. So in the fixed point scaling we have taken fixed point is xf and yf. This is the consideration we have taken and we have performed scaling. But here we need to perform scaling by considering fixed point is xw min and yw min. This is our fixed point. So if you are taking xw min and yw min in this scaling matrix, I will substitute I will substitute xw min and yw min. Rest of the code is same. So this is the two-dimensional scaling matrix, two-dimensional scaling matrix, and I am using homogeneous coordinates also. But just in the new things what I added means I added xw min and yw min. This is our fixed point we selected. So what is the first step we need to perform means whenever you want to map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, you need to adjust size of the clipping window to the size of the viewport, either by increasing size or by decreasing size. So we need to perform scaling here, and also we are performing fixed point scaling, because I said clearly the relative position of the both the windows should be same. Relative position of both the windows should be same means whatever the object you displayed in the viewing clipping window at that particular position, same object has to be displayed in the viewport at that particular position only, but the size may be varies. So we need to determine what is that size. That is our aim of this particular problem, right? Now once you perform the scaling with respect to clipping window, now you can say that size of the clipping window is same as size of the viewport. Then what we need to perform means step 2 is we need to translate, that is xw min yw min to xv min yv min. What is this xw min yw means we need to translate origin of the clipping window to the origin of the viewport. This is very important step. Here only I can say that the relative position concept here. In the step 2 we are translating origin of the clipping window to the origin of the viewport. So once you translate, then we need translation matrix. So this we know that how to generate translation matrix also. So this is the translation matrix we need to translate origin of the clipping window to the origin of the viewport. Means both are coincide with each other. Origin of the clipping window is coincides with the origin of the viewport. This matrix translate, see that here very beautifully written the sentence. This matrix translate lower left corner of the clipping window to lower left corner of the viewport. This is called relative position of both the windows should be same. Then I need to determine what is a composite matrix, because I am performing two operations here. First operation scaling, second operation translation. Then here please you see this composite matrix I written M window to normalization mapping. When you want to perform window to clipping window viewing coordinate to normalization viewport mapping, then I have a T into S. T is called translation matrix, S is called scaling matrix here. So this is window to normalization viewport, means internally we did normalization also, but actually in reality we did not map that, but assume that we mapped that. So directly we are mapping viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate with the help of this particular matrix. Then when we map clipping window coordinates to viewport, we need to know few things, few points here. So I written note clearly. If any part of the object that lies outside the clipping window, then it also lies outside of the viewport. This is the first and very important point with respect to mapping like this. Second point says that when you map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, if the size of the clipping window and viewport is differs, means with respect to aspect ratio, then object will be stretched either with respect to x-axis or with respect to y-axis or with respect to both the direction. What is the meaning of this means? If the size of the clipping window is different than the size of the viewport, assume that this is our day-to-day life example. In our mobile, I am giving one example for the second note. In our mobile, assume that we are displaying one image in our mobile. The aspect ratio of the mobile is assumed at 4 into 3, means we kept that mobile horizontally and we are watching video. When you are watching video in our mobile and our mobile screen aspect ratio is assumed at 4 cross 3 and we are watching that video, and please you observe, please you imagine how that objects are displayed on the screen of the mobile. If the same screen, if I rotated that 90 degree, then you imagine how that image looks, means that the objects in that screen, it is stretched, it looks like it is stretched because we changed that aspect ratio from 4 cross 3 to 3 cross 4. Means in case of clipping window and viewport, assume that size of the clipping window is 4 cross 3. If the size of the clipping, if the size of the viewport is also 4 cross 3, aspect ratios are same, then we cannot able to find any difference with respect to image that is displayed in a clipping window and the image that is displayed in the viewport. If you change the aspect ratio means assume that the aspect ratio means width to height size. Assume that aspect ratio of the clipping window is 4 cross 3, aspect ratio of the viewport is 3 cross 4. It means that whatever the object that is displayed in a viewport, it is stretched here. It is stretched either with respect to x-axis or with respect to y-axis. But in our example, it is stretched with respect to y-axis, not x-axis. Because when you rotate mobile, assume that we have a mobile position is horizontally. If you rotate that by 90 degree, then I can say that that object that is displayed on the screen of the mobile, it is stretched with respect to y-axis. So what I would like to conclude here means, if the size of the both the windows are different, that image is stretched with respect to either x-axis or y-axis or both the directions like this. And one more note is there, that is also very important. As you can see that first diagram, by changing the position of the viewport, we can view objects at different positions on the display area of an output device. Means if you change the size, please you see the first diagram, right side, please you see the mouse pointer. Whatever the left diagram is there, in the first diagram left side, that is called clipping window. Now whatever the object that is present inside the clipping window, it has to be present inside the viewport. It has to be present inside the viewport with respect to different size, right? But now I am not discussing with respect to different size here. I am discussing if I move the viewport from one position to another position within the display area, then what happens? I am displaying. What happens? I am explaining. When by changing the position of the viewport, we can view the objects at different positions on the display area. Means you can see that here I displayed, here we have a clipping window. I want to view this particular object, so I displayed those objects on the screen of the monitor. If you change the position of the viewport, you can view the different position of that particular object. So what you need to do means you need to change the viewport coordinates. This is a one more note. Next note says that by varying size of the viewport, we can change the size of the display object. Means this is called zoom in. As we learned in the third and fourth lab program, how to perform zoom in and zoom out. So see that, please use observe mouse pointer. Size of the clipping window is very small here. If the size of the clipping window is very small, I am displaying that object with respect to very small size. If I increase this viewport size from first diagram right side to second diagram right side, I will get larger size of the particular object on the screen of the monitor. This is called zoom in, means we are increasing size of the object. To increase the size of the object, you supposed to increase size of the viewport. This is called zoom in concept. Zoom in concept. Whatever the object, assume that here object is displayed. Assume that object is displayed here. If the size of the viewport is smaller than the size of the clipping window, it means that we are performing zoom out. We are performing zoom out. It means that we are decreasing size of the object. So this is the effect of real camera. In the real camera, when I move the object, when I move the camera nearest to the object, it means that the size of the object is goes on increases. Means we can display very larger size on the screen of the monitor. Means indirectly we are increasing size of the viewport. That is nothing but zoom in. When I move our real camera away from the object, definitely size of the object is decreases. Means whatever the object you displayed on the screen, we will get very small size. Very small size. The size of the object will goes on decreases. This is called zoom out. So when you are performing zoom out, it means that you are decreasing size of the viewport. Means the size of the object that is displayed on the screen of the monitor, it depends on size of the viewport. This is very important point. Size of the object that is displayed on the screen, it depends on the size of the viewport. And second thing, where you want to display that image on the screen, it is decided by the position of the viewport. If the position of the viewport at the bottom left corner with respect to screen coordinate or monitor coordinate, then we will get that image, or that image has been displayed at the bottom left corner of the monitor. If the position of the viewport is given in a such a way that it is at the top right corner of the monitor, then we will get, or we will display the image on the screen at the position top right corner. Means I am discussing here size of the viewport and position of the viewport. Position of the viewport defines on the screen of the monitor where you decided to display the image. That is nothing but position of the viewport. Size of the viewport defines whether you want to perform zoom in and zoom out, or size of the viewport defines whether you want to display larger size of the image than the image that is present in the clipping window, or you want to display very small size of the image, the object or that image that is present in the clipping window. So these are the properties of the viewport we need to remember whenever we are projecting, or whenever we are viewing two-dimensional object on the screen of the monitor. So this is about how we can convert viewing coordinate to world coordinate. So just I want to revise, I want to repeat. So how to perform viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate. So if you want to perform viewing coordinate to, so here I written here. So please you see that mapping clipping window coordinate to viewport coordinate, and I written here two-dimensional viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate. WC means viewing coordinate here. Two-dimensional viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate. So when you want to map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, first we need to perform scaling. Next we need to perform translation. So scaling will increase the size of the object or decrease the size of the object with respect to size of the viewport. Translation will translate that origin. What translation will do means, translation will translate the origin of the clipping window to the viewport window. So when you perform translation, then the relative position of the object either in the clipping window or in the viewport will become same. So this is the derivation we have done today with respect to this. So let us see one simple example. So they may ask example also, one problem also on the topic called mapping viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate. So let us consider one problem. I did not give one problem statement. Let us assume that. Let us assume that. Consider one clipping window's position is given. Consider a one clipping window position is given. That is I written left bottom corner is 20 comma 40. Assume that I am telling problem statement. Consider two window positions are given. So assume that I will read out. Consider left bottom corner of the clipping window is 20 comma 40 and right upper corner of the clipping window is 80 comma 80. This is given. This is given, and one point is given. One point is given on the clipping window. That point position is 30 comma 80. So by seeing this, please you see the mouse pointer. By seeing these given things with respect to clipping window, I written clearly here. So in the problem statement, it is given x-axis clipping window value is xw minimum is 20, xw maximum is 80. With respect to y-axis, yw minimum is 40, yw maximum is 80. Then I created one clipping window left side. Please you see the left side, and its origin is 20 comma 40. Origin of the clipping window is 20 comma 40. And here what we need to do means, what we need to do instead of discussing what we need to do, first I would like to discuss what is given for the viewport. So assume that viewport coordinates also given. Viewport coordinates also given. That is lower bottom corner of the viewport coordinate is 30 comma 40. 30 comma 40 means x b minimum is 30, x b y b minimum is 40, and x b maximum is 60, y b maximum is 60. Means size of the viewport is given. Always they will give opposite corner size of the position of the either clipping window or viewport. So this is also given. Now what we need to determine here means, you may get, at least you may get the clarity of previous derivation with respect to this problem. So everything is given. Everything is given. The point on the clipping window is also given. Now what is our aim is here means, we need to determine the corresponding position of the point P on the viewport. That's it. I will repeat. Assume that there is a one point P and its position is 30 comma 80 is there in a clipping window. Now we need to determine where this point has to be displayed on the viewport. So that is called the corresponding position of the point P in a viewport is called xv and yv. We don't know this. We don't know this. So with respect to the previous derivation, we need to determine what is the corresponding position of the point P on the viewport. This is the problem, and we need to find out these things only. So to determine what is the corresponding pixel position or point position P on a viewport, we need to use the previous formulas. So I written previous formula, that is xw minus x w min, xw max minus xw min, xv minus xv min. So this is nothing but what I written here. This is nothing but clipping window x-axis coordinate. This is viewport x-axis coordinate. So I will substitute. Everything is written in the previous slide. Go to previous slide. See that. Please you see that what is xw min, xw max, yw min. Everything I written in detail. Everything I written in detail. Xw value is 30. Yw value is 30. That is nothing but point. One point P is given. That is xw yw. Xw is 30. Yw is 30. It is given. But we need to determine what is the corresponding pixel position, that is xv and YB on the viewport. So to determine this, I return x-axis value with respect to clipping window, left side of the equal to operator, right side of the equal to operator. I return what is the x-axis formula with respect to viewport. Now if I substitute this, I said in the previous slide, perform cross verification, cross multiplication, all those things. After substituting value, here we know everything, but in this formula only we don't know what is the x-axis coordinate value with respect to viewport. So xv is unknown. So I will determine what is xv by substituting or by performing cross multiplication. So after performing cross multiplication, I got xv value, that is 35. Means on the viewport, the pixel position, the point position P and its corresponding position is 35 with respect to x-axis. Similarly, left side of the equal to operator, I return clipping window formula for the y-axis value. Right side of the equal to operator, I return viewport y-axis value. Viewport y-axis value. Now here we know everything. We don't know what is the YB because it is unknown. We need to determine YB only. So to determine YB, please use substitute. I did rough work, but I did not highlight it here. I did rough work and I calculated what is YB. So after performing cross multiplication and everything, substitution, I got YB. So I can say that 35, 60. This is the point P corresponding position on the viewport. So I can say that here we calculated for this point P corresponding position on the viewport, that is nothing but 35, 60. 35, 60. As you can see that we have a point P in a clipping window at 30, 80. After mapping viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, the same point is displayed, or the corresponding point P is displayed on the viewport, but the position is 35, 60. I would like to repeat, position may varies with respect to size of the viewport, but the relative position of the point P in a clipping window is same as the relative position of the point P in a viewport. Means from the origin, from the origin, the difference from the origin, 30 is there, 1 minute, 30 is there, and here 35 is there, 20. Relative position, the relative position from the origin with respect to clipping window is same as the relative position of the point P with respect to origin of the viewport. So this is the derivation we did, and we solved problem also. So I would like to stop here only. So today we learned how to map world coordinate to viewing coordinate. We have two steps, and we also learned how to map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate. So when we want to map viewing coordinate to viewport coordinate, we have two steps. One is scaling, one more is translation. The scaling, why we need scaling means, the scaling is required because size of the object, either it may be increases or it may be decreases with respect to size of the viewport. So we need to perform scaling. Next step, we need translation. Why we want translation means, we need to maintain relative position of both the windows should be same. Means the origin, with respect to origin, we need to maintain relative positions. To maintain that relative position, we would like to translate origin of the clipping window to the origin of the viewport. Then we need translation transformations. And next we solved one problem, how to determine corresponding pixel position on the screen of the monitor with respect to viewport. Means whatever the point or pixel that is lies in the clipping window, say for the same pixel or for the same pixel position, I need to determine what is the pixel position in the viewport. So we determined, we solved equation, and we derived equation also, and we solved problem also. So definitely you will get either problem on this particular topic, or you may get the derivation. Thank you.